Today, we're going to turn fresh garden beets into a superfood powder supplement. And by the end of this video, you won't believe how easy this process is. So beets are one of my favorite vegetables, and I include several different types in my spring and fall garden. One of the main benefits of beets is it's a natural source of nitrates, which can improve blood flow, lower blood pressure, and help muscles work more efficiently, which is a major factor in the growth of the beetroot powder industry. This deep colored staple of our gardens is a true superfood, which we could take advantage of. Now, turning garden beets into powder is surprisingly easy and offers a ton of benefits. Using homegrown powder is a game changer compared to the store-bought options, which often contain additives, chemical usages, and a lack of fresh flavor. Not to mention, the cost of beetroot powder can range from $2 to $6 an ounce. A pack of seeds on average is $3 or less. So let's grow this. So to better preserve these and to create something that has multiple applications through our cooking and our supplements, we're going to make beetroot powder. Now, if you're using store-bought beets or beets that someone gifted you, the process is the same. You're just going to skip step one. And step one is we've got to harvest our beets. And beets are ready when they're the size that we want. Now, the smaller the beet, the sweeter. The larger the beet tends to be a little bit more earthier, but the taste is great either way. So we want to choose beets that are firm and have no signs of spoilage. Then we want to cut off the stalks and the stem and give them a good clean under cold water to remove any dirt or debris. Now, gardener's tip, use a soft bristled toothbrush when you're washing your beets in the sink. It'll help get that dirt out of those cracks a whole lot easier without breaking the skin and causing potential stains to your hands. Then we want to peel the beet and we want to cut them into small pieces to ensure that you dry evenly in our dehydrator. Now, I use the slicer option on a cheese grater, and this ensures a uniform cut throughout the process. This is a quick and easy method to cut your beets, and once you get started and you do one, then you'll realize that it's fairly easy to do. Garden tip though, let's save our countertops and our cutting boards, and you want to put press and seal or plastic wrap down first. That way, any of that juice that gets on your countertops, that plastic layer prevents stainage or on your cutting board. And don't forget also, put on some gloves unless you want purple hands. Now, once our beets are sliced, we want to place them on the dehydrator trays, making sure that the pieces don't touch as we set them down. We want to set our dehydrator to the lowest setting that we have. Anywhere from 125 to 145 Fahrenheit is optimal, with 25 being the best to ensure that we preserve all the nutrients within those beets. Now, beets are dried when you can pick one up and they're very brittle and they snap. It's kind of a field test. You'll kind of know when you pick it up and it just breaks in your hands, you know that you pretty much have completed your task. If you're uncomfortable with it, then once you think it's good, then give it one more hour. You're not going to hurt anything. Now, for the slices that I used, they took about 12 hours using the cheese grater method. But depending on how you slice them, it can be anywhere from 5 to 14 hours. So be prepared that it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's time that the machine's working and you're not. Now, as you take your chips off of the dehydrator trays, don't forget to save a couple for snacks because beet chips are quite delicious. When you grind your beets into powder, and this is the final step, you're going to want to use a food processor or a blender, and I'm using a Magic Bullet blender that we use to make smoothies. And it comes with an herb grinding attachment, which is just flat blades that works pretty well in grinding things into powder. So you simply want to blend the pieces into the fine powder, but you want to make sure that you only put enough in your container that you don't bog down the cutting process. So I usually go about maybe halfway full, grind those pieces down, and then add more and continue grinding. Now, once you're done and you've got your powder ready, then you're going to have a vibrant color that is stunning, a deep magenta that's almost too pretty to use, but almost. This powder adds a sweet, earthy flavor and a burst of vitamin and minerals and antioxidants. So, making beetroot powder at home provides another avenue to preserve your garden harvest and provides a nutrient-dense powder to add to your drinks. Enhance baked goods, boost savory dishes like soups and stews, or even just sprinkle it on some popcorn. I know, but try it first or add it to any of the hummus that you buy at your store. And you've created also a natural food coloring. When you add just a bit of water, then that's going to turn bright red, so be careful, it can stain everything, but you have a natural red food coloring. And on a side note, you can use this exact same process on your blackberry harvest. You just don't have to slice the berries, you just put them in your dehydrator. You'll wind up with a deep black powder that you can use on desserts or your ice creams, or your smoothies for that blackberry flavor, that blackberry nutrients. And it takes about 20 hours to dehydrate the blackberries, so be prepared for that. Now, for additional harvesting and storage options for beets, please watch this video here. Share this video with someone who would be interested in making beetroot powder at home. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell.